Okay, let's go ahead and get into the stock market technical analysis. We want to look at the broad markets. I'm going to start off with the tech sector. We can look at the individual mega cap tech stocks. I'm seeing signs that we're hitting resistance on many of those, so I do want to cover that, and then we'll wrap up. So please drop me a thumbs up if you're interested. If you're interested in the private member group, link in the description below, putting out a lot of additional trade insights and charts in that private member group. So check that out if you're interested. Triple Qs, guys. This is the tech sector, obviously. I'm flipping it over to the daily chart here. You can see here on the daily, I've got it, you can draw this a couple ways, but in general, I've got this uptrend line here. I had it breaking down, and we're kind of back testing right now over the last couple days. So that's one way to draw it. You could, if you wanted, you can see right here, I do have the bottom of that wick right there that I'm not really capturing. So if I just kind of move that down like that, then somewhere right in there, that would put us above support still. So keep an eye on that one. However, by doing that, I do throw out that reaction there. So I like this drawing. I think this is probably the most accurate as of right now. It looks to me like we're back testing that, and we're just kind of trading right below. NASDAQ futures, though, when I point that out, this one going over to here, the NASDAQ futures, here's the daily chart, and this one's a little cleaner. You've got the same kind of drawing, but you've got support, and we're still holding that support right now. So that has not been broken. So no sell signal per se on that. If I go down to the hourly, you can see, on the hourly, we've got kind of this trend line, this downtrend line where we've got several reactions here. We just hit it this morning. So it looks to me like we are compressing. We're in an isometrical triangle. It's a compression pattern, and it's ultimately an indecision pattern. All right, we keep compressing. We're coming close to the apex of that triangle. So it's got to make a decision. Does it break out or does it break down? If we break down, it's obviously, that's going to trigger a long-term sell signal on the daily chart. So keep an eye on that. The SPY SP 500, you can see, still holding support. All right, we hit that support. We did bounce. They're starting to sell into it, but again, there's no sell signal, no breakdown yet on the index. Obviously, when that comes, that's going to be a more major sell signal, taking out that trend line and really taking out kind of the lows, the most recent lows. All right, that would be your sell signal on the markets, on the broad markets in general. One thing, though, I'm noticing, if I go over to the mega cap tech stocks, let's just kind of go through some of these. Here's Amazon hitting support, or hitting resistance, on the daily chart. You can see several reactions there, rallied up into that resistance, and so far getting rejected. So that's resistance. We also had this little uptrend line here, broke that. But in general, the resistance is about 189.25. So that tells me we're going to, we're likely going to get a pullback here. Meta to me, as far as I can tell, looks like it's bear flagging. So you got the flagpole, and then you've got the flag. You're flagging out right here, and then the continuation of the flag would be a breakdown of that flag, right there, and you have a continuation of the flagpole, and that sets us up for a move down to about the 200-day simple moving average. That's the measured target on there. So that's what that looks like. If I go down to the hourly on that one, you just have to see a break of this little minor uptrend line on the hourly. All right, you get that break, that should essentially trigger that bear flag pattern, and we should get that impulsive push down to the 200-day moving average. So that's what I'm seeing there. Microsoft, same kind of pattern as Meta. You've got kind of a bear flag pattern. You can see first leg down, flagging up over the last couple days, and then a break of that flag would, kind of give us a major target down to about 415.50 or so. All right, so that is that. Now, Microsoft, if that happens, because of course this is just, it hasn't played out yet, so there's no guarantees. But if it does happen, then you're also going to be breaking this more major support line on the daily chart. And that would be, of course, a more major sell signal for Microsoft. Apple's still hanging in there above support. You can see we've got this uptrend line. We're still kind of hanging in there on that, above that trend line. So no major sell signals there on Apple. That one's just it's, there's nothing necessarily bearish there. Google had this bearish rising wedge right here. We broke the wedge and the major target has not been hit yet. So that still has us pushing down to about 162.50 on Google. Potential bear flag as well. So you can see, continuation of that flag would have us not getting to that full major target, but down lower, obviously. So, Google still looks like it's got some more downside if it's going to hit that major target of this bear flag. Tesla continues to kind of grind around at this major trend line here. It's above support, so no sell signals on Tesla. It's not impulsively rallying, all right? So this breakout is not really taking off, but it's not breaking down yet either. It's kind of seems to be waiting for the rest of the market to make up its mind. So that one we have to just continue to wait on. And then NVIDIA did rally up. You can see some resistance right here. Fill the gap this morning. If I go down to the hourly, you can see there's this gap down and, basically filling this gap right there and hitting resistance. It's about 124.55. And the sellers so far have been stepping in, not super impulsive, but they are selling that at resistance. So that tells me we've got some more downside in Tesla. Back to the daily, Tesla's got major support right now about 118. So you take that out, and I think you're going to come fill some of these gaps. You got a gap here at about 106. You've got another gap down here at 96. That's the target, really. To me, that's much more major support, and that's where I think NVIDIA is actually headed. It's, a drop down to there. It's about 20% downside on NVIDIA to hit that more major uptrend line on the daily chart. All right, you can see there it is right there. Lots of reactions. So very strong support down there, but as far as I can tell, it looks like we're heading down there. I pointed this one out in the private member group this morning. There's no real change from this trade idea. On this one, you have a daily uptrend line, so this is support. You can see here on GM. We're hitting that today on earnings. That support's not really been taken out. Obviously a 7% drop, but it's falling just to that support. So really, if it's going to break, you need to see a daily close below kind of today's lows. And that should really set this up for that more major sell signal. As of right now, just hanging out there on support. So no sell signal, just it's on watch. You've got big, strong negative divergence. It's been building for quite a while, but maybe you get one little post-earnings pop and then it breaks. So again, just taking out the lows, a daily close, and I can kind of mark out the level. For me, it's about a daily close below 45.84. All right, you get that daily close below that level, and that's going to be the sell signal of this trend line breaking, and that should set this up for a continued move down much lower. This one I think is also pretty ripe to break support, although has not done so yet, but this is Eli Lilly, LLY. Big strong uptrend line on the daily chart. Negative divergence has been building for a while now, and we got kind of, that pretty impulsive sell down right to support, and this, they're buying it. It's kind of flagging out though. It looks like it's bear flagging here. So a continuation of this downside, which I think is going to, if it's going to break, it's probably going to come in the form of a gap down, where you're just basically going to gap down, break that more major daily support, and continue that bear flag push to the downside. That to me looks like you've got a continuation. Yeah, about right there. 795.40 would be pretty decent support. All right, so that's what it looks like it's doing. You could jump the gun and try to get into it, but it is definitely still above support on the daily. So it's kind of tough to, there's just not enough information here to tell me it's going to break. And this is a bear flag. It definitely has the setup there, but I think I'd probably just rather wait for it to maybe gap down and then catch the move down to that more major support. Gold. The gold miners, as of right now, if I go down over to the weekly, they're back below that resistance line. So here on the weekly, this is that big downtrend line. I've got it kind of marked out right there. And we're back below it. All right, brief little pop over it, but essentially it's been rejected. So I'm not too excited about the gold miners here. If it can get power on through and you get a big, strong weekly breakout candle, then sure, that is a more major buy signal. But as of right now, back below it with the little false breakout. So it's at resistance. That's basically it, and that means that it could push down to the bottom of the range, which is all the way down here at 25 or so, depending on how long it takes to get down there. So that's what I have on that one. Costco's just barely hanging on to support. You can see on the daily, the last couple days we're just barely hanging in there. So no sell signals. We just need to continue to wait for this to break. It's got negative divergence. It's all there in the chart. We've got a big bearish engulfing candle, so it's likely the top is in. There, just mark that out as the top. But it could trade maybe for a few more days, kind of keep, holding that support line and then break here in the near future. So this one's on watch. No sell signals yet. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there. Lots of different charts to really watch. Several of these stocks that I've been pointing out are just right on the edge of breaking down and triggering sell signals, but not quite there yet. So it's really just kind of a waiting game on a lot of this stuff. So get the video out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.